has more.
Two guys who started the season as backups, leading the Canadian Football League in quarterbacking victories. A couple of remarkable breakout stars getting ready for the playoffs.
Now start at the 50, and they start with William Stanback off the left side, and he gets strung out there. Tough man to bring down, and he ends up getting a couple. We'll set this Montreal offense for you. Second rushing team in the league.
And obviously resting some guys as they get ready for the playoffs. Devere Posey, Quan Bray sitting this one out. Rookie Keon Julian Grant gets the start at slot tonight. St. FX product. Keep an eye on Trey Rutherford at left guard. We talk a lot about the young skill guys on offense. He's become a terrific young offensive lineman, number 2 overall pick in the 2018 draft.
2nd and 8. Adams' first pass just dumps it off. And it's Stanback trying to cut it outside, and he's got a first down. And run out at the Redblack pitch, out of bounds at the Ottawa 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 14.
An eye on Stanback. Quick little peek, release across the formation, disappear behind that offensive line. Let's get a look. Again, a guy we often talk about as a big bruiser, as a running back, a banger, but he's got that speed to outrun some angles on defenders.
Well, Montreal first down, back in the hands of William Stanback, crashing down to about the 38-yard line. Gain of 5, and here's the Ottawa starting defense in their season finale.
Yeah, Darius Jackson will make the start at defensive end. J.R. Tavai, who leads the team in sacks with 8, sits this one out. Bit of linebacker Jared Fernandez, their top rookie, holding down the fort. On the back end, Antoine Pruneau, who's battled injuries throughout this 2019 season, back in at free safety for this 2019 finale.
Adam changes the play call. Jarvion Williams in the backfield, and that pass is complete, and it will be a first down. Dante Absher out of Glenville Community College with the catch. Same school that produced an old reliable in their defensive backfield, Gerald Brown.
Yes, sir. JB, 3-time East Division All-Star, 1-time CFL All-Star. Absher with the team since training camp, but made his regular season debut last week with 1 catch.
6'3", 180. First down, Owls at the Redblack 31. Adams looking a little further downfield, got after again, inside the 10. Cut down there by Randall Evans, but the Alouettes have a 1st and goal. 26-yard connection for Adams to Absher.
Well, and you suspect that Vernon Adams may just play enough in this game to establish that he is sharp and playoff ready before they get him out of the lineup. I think the early suggestion might be that Vernon doesn't intend to be on the field long tonight.
Needs 184 yards, or at least needed it coming in to hit 4,000 on the season. Find out if he's in long enough to get there. So 1st and goal. The throw again, incomplete, out of the reach of Absher. 3rd straight target for 19.
You can see the Redblacks defense loaded things up at the line of scrimmage, essentially outnumbering the blockers in Montreal's protection scheme. But good recognition by Adams. You can see him backpedaling right away to get out of there, buy a little bit of time, get the ball out quickly. Nonetheless, the pressure forcing an inaccurate throw.
2nd and goal from the 5. 3 receivers, pressure coming, looks like offside. Back in the end zone, and Lewis has the touchdown. Impressive opening possession march for the Alouettes.
Offside, Ottawa number 24. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Well, these are 2 guys who have been in sync throughout the second half of the season. Vernon Adams and Eugene Lewis, his leading receiver on the scramble. Adams able to find Lewis at the back of the end zone. Former basketballer goes high to bring that one down.
5th touchdown of the year for Lewis. Anthony Choppy offside, but that didn't matter. And it's the 23rd touchdown pass thrown by Adams. And Boris Beatty now is 39 of 41 on converts this year. Out of the gate quickly, Vernon Adams and the Alouettes into the end zone on their opening drive.
Maybe it's the sun or that sun on you. I feel like
The CFL on TSN is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, ranked #1 in quality by J.D. Power. Quality drive for the Alouettes, 7 plays, 60 yards. And Eugene Lewis with the touchdown that has them up by 8.
Yeah, you could list off the many young breakout stars on this Alouettes team. Good-looking core group of skill guys on offense.
Got the wind at the back of Boris Beatty, and he will require some assistance here. He'll get a hold. Greg Morris back along with the 38-year-old veteran Steph Logan. Is this the last time we see Logan in the Canadian Football League? Here he is. Well, he mishandles it, and he's going to give up another. So that's 2 kickoff rouges for Boris Beatty.
Well, let's take a look back at the Eugene Lewis touchdown. He's lined up as the one receiver. Lots of field to get open. And I think Brandon Danridge on the corner is anticipating he's going to see a corner route. So he sits. Meanwhile, Lewis makes that break inside and ends up with a ton of space with that corner guessing wrong, allowing Vernon Adams to find him off the scramble.
So another start at the 35 as Davis back to throw over the middle, and almost a one-handed grab for Brad Sinopoli.
Sinopoli coming from out wide here. Your one receiver is going to work across the formation. And look, this ball just stuck there for a second as it hit his hand. Looked like he was going to be able to bring that one in.
Streak of 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons will come to an end for Sinopoli. 2nd and 10, back in his hands, makes the catch. He'll get stopped short of the first down. And the punt team has to come on.
Well, perhaps no player more than Brad Sinopoli symbolizes the fall from 2018 to 2019 for these Ottawa Redblacks. His numbers cut drastically as so much of the, won't even say supporting cast, but just cast around him on offense gone this year.
Leone into the breeze. It will be Ryan, and it will be a 15-yard, no yards penalty. Taken down quickly downfield, but the penalty upcoming. Eugene Lewis with the touchdown from Montreal, continuing this red-hot second half of the season with more on the Alouette receiver taking flight. Here's Brent Wallace.
Absolutely, CC. As you know, Eugene Lewis's breakout season was well documented, but really, as you say, that first half was a struggle. Just 243 yards in his first 7 games, and so head coach Kahari Jones says he was worried about his star receiver at that point. He didn't feel he was doing enough to be a pro player, so he brought him in, had a chat with him, and at that point he also moved him from slot to wide receiver, and his game really flourished in the next 10 games. 840 yards, and he said he really liked to watch how he went with the defensive backs going one-on-one as a wide receiver. He said it was the thing where he saw him become more of a competitor, and he really is excited for what the future may hold for Lewis, as he's the first Alouettes receiver with over 1,000 yards in 2 years. Guys?
Interesting. Often receivers go to the next level when they move from the wide outs inside, but the opposite for Geno Lewis.
Yeah, and you wonder sometimes if it's just a comfort thing. As you alluded to, often you move into the slot, you get more opportunity because you're closer to the quarterback, closer to the action.
2nd and 10, bump one way, they'll screen it off, can stand back, make people miss. Fernandez was there to snuff it out, along with help from Avery Ellis.
Once again, Jared Fernandez at middle linebacker for Ottawa, their top rookie nominee. Get an indication of why here, doing a nice job in space against one of the toughest running backs in the Canadian Football League.
Levine to punt, Logan back. Puts that one high. Logan fields at the 17. And up across the 25 on the return. Looks like Frederick Plessier made first contact.
Not much to say, but I love you boys. And despite our season, I wouldn't have traded it for the world. So there ain't no next week. There ain't no next game. So lay it on the line. We got 7 months to heal. Redblacks on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Michael Clausen spoke to his teammates before the final game, announced his retirement prior to the game today. A 7-year vet who has to end it because of injuries.
Yeah, and that has always been the battle, unfortunately, for Mike Clausen. Terrific, talented player to the University of Calgary, a 4th-round pick back in 2013, but has battled injuries throughout.
Played in Calgary and Montreal as well. Here's Davis stepping up and feet first slide across the 40-yard line. So that vacates the crown.
Yeah.
Michael Clausen, the best mullet in the Canadian Football League. So it's wide open.
Well, he talked about 7 months of healing. I think 7 months of hair growing for some other guys to try and fill the void.
Second down out of Davis's hands quickly, and Brad Sinopoly's been the favorite target tonight. He's got another first down and a 10-yard grab up around the 50.
He's got the mullet covered up under there, but there is Michael Clausen, one of the good guys as well of the Canadian Football League.
So on the heels of John Gott last year.
Yes, great beard lost here in Ottawa.
From the best beard to the best mullet in back-to-back seasons. John Crockett inside, and a good run across midfield and into Montreal territory. So a 6-yard pickup and trying to stack first downs here. Has some options on 2nd and 4. Wide side of the field. Open there is Nate Bahar. And Bahar's got another first down. The Carlton Raven product with a grab of 9 yards. Just the 15th catch of the year for Bahar. I thought he would have made more of an impact this season back here in Ottawa.
Yeah, he's been very good on special teams. Bahar took him a little bit of time to make his way into the starting lineup.
Crockett looked quick there, and a dash close to another first down for John Crockett. And with that run, he takes over the Redblack rushing lead as he passes Moses Madu. So they go no huddle, and Davis will push it behind Alex Mateus. And it's another Redblack first down.
Yeah, I like the decision offensively for Ottawa, going with a little bit of change of pace. We saw that hurry-up tempo type offense a bit on this possession, just as they're trying to get a little bit of momentum. Maybe get Montreal back on their heels after a quick start by the Owls.
1 touchdown in 35 drives. It's another completion as Bahar reaches back and hauls that in. But the Redblacks putting together a good-looking drive here late first quarter.
Nice job here, John Crockett from the backfield is going to step up in protection off the edge on DJ Lalama. Cut block to get the hands down. That creates a throwing lane for his quarterback. Nice effort there.
5 straight completions for Davis. This is the 9th play of the drive. First down at the 24. And they'll screen it to Crockett. Cuts it back and is dropped around the 18-yard line. 6 more. Bola combo. Enoch Mwamba there defensively.
Yeah, they do a nice job setting up the screen.
2nd and 4. Draw. Crockett not going anywhere. Push back as Jovan Roland Jones makes the stop, playing in the John Bowman spot.
Well, he's back-to-back plays. You often put the screen and the draw in the same category offensively as plays you're using to sort of take advantage of the aggressiveness of a defensive pass rush. It almost seemed like after the screen on first down, the Montreal offense was very well prepared for draw on the next play.
So Lewis Ward from 27 out. And the Redblacks are on the board. 9-3, just under 2 minutes left here in the opening quarter at TD Place. Well, Henry Burris got more attention this week in Ottawa than the house giving out full chocolate bars at Halloween. I mean, this was the talk of the town as Hank let people know what he thought about what went wrong this year, and it focused on the general manager. Here's how Rick Campbell reacted.
I know this. I know that Henry Burris cares a lot about the Redblacks and the city of Ottawa. He loves this place. Just like I do, just like a bunch of us do, and there has been a lot of anger and sadness and whatever this year, just with what's happened with our record, and so I'm glad people care.
Well, Hank back in studio. Hank, did you think it would cause such a ripple effect, and where do they go from here?
Well, I mean, this is something we've talked about for a number of months here since everything happened during the off season. But, you know, it's all about improving just the image and the face of the organization. And that's where the focus of it is. It's not a shot at Marcel. But, again, as a quarterback, if I threw 5 interceptions in the game, I do have to take responsibility. And it's his job to take responsibility for the way the team is this year. I mean, we want to make sure that we can keep the stands packed. As there wasn't a sellout for the Redblacks this year, we want to see this team get back to prominence and to success. And it all started with Marcel and Rick. And definitely, they will be back next year, and I hope they both are, because look at the success of this team up to this point, guys.
Well, cup appearances in 3 of the previous 4 years, so I think you do get a little bit of a grace period, but nobody saw 10 consecutive losses and a team that's ended up with this kind of play down the stretch this season.
Right about that, and it starts up top. That's where the onus falls, and he has to start improving relationships with players
on that play,
and make sure
back to carry, and that's the one fear for Alouette fans here tonight, is that one of their starters might get injured.
Always the great debate at this time of year. You want to call it reps versus rest, or, you know, being in sync, having your timing down, staying in rhythm, versus keeping everybody healthy.
So Lewis getting attention, and got to wonder if we'll see him again tonight. 2nd and 4. Adams stands in underneath, and Winnecke's got the catch. And a first down. The Rookie of the Year for the Alouettes in 2019.
Yeah, Winnecke, big target. Leads Alouette receivers in touchdown catches this season. We may expect to see Winnecke line up on the inside. You see him as the number 3 receiver in that formation. Quite often lines up as number 2, again a little farther away from the quarterback. But with Quan Bray out of the lineup tonight, Tavir Posey as well.
Vernon Adams, little toss inside, and that gets read beautifully. Big step up for Kevin Brown on the final play of the opening quarter here in Ottawa.
So let's get it, bro.
Redblacks! Straight to my head, never wanna come down. Love your dealing.
Alouettes with a touchdown drive for that first quarter. The Redblacks had a good-looking drive, but settled for 3.
Yeah, but a good response for the Redblacks. Coming into this game, it certainly looked like Montreal was a team that was getting ready for the playoffs, and Ottawa was a team that was getting ready for the offseason when you looked at those first couple of possessions and the way the teams came out. But I think it just took Ottawa a little while to get going. Dominic Davis making his first start since August, and he seemed to find his legs, particularly when they went to that tempo offense.
Didn't take long for Vernon Adams to get going. He looks playoff ready. You wonder about Gene Lewis, and that's a big issue here tonight about Montreal trying to win a game but stay healthy at the same time. And
yeah, one of the I guess happy challenges when you're Kahari Jones, first-year head coach for these Montreal Alouettes.
Second and long, Adams over the middle, and Faubert-Lucier with the catch. See where they mark it. Looks like he could come up a yard short here. And the heavy team comes on. Spencer Moore checks in. And it's going to be 3rd and more than a yard. The big boys hunker down, have to get close to the 30. And out of the gun and stand back, he's got it. And no trouble there as he barges down to around the 20.
Going to take a look here at the work of Christian Matt, the center for Montreal, and their nominee as most outstanding offensive lineman. You'll see why. Right here, he got a hold of the edge on Latanzio. Just cleared the path.
So 3rd and 2, they get 12 and have a first down now at the Ottawa 20. Stand back again. And he finds the hole off the right side and gets hit hard by the corner, Randall Evans, who steps up.
We talk all the time about vision, the vision of a running back. And, you know, the way that I would define it is really just a feel for the way that the blocking scheme is going to develop. There you saw it with William Stanback, a play that looked like it's drawn up to go inside, but he recognizes that the edge blocker has outside leverage on his guy and bounces it, find a little bit softer path.
53 total yards from scrimmage for Stanback, and another carry up the middle, and he pounds that inside the 10. And again, Fernandez with first contact. So Stanback to the sidelines, and again, Jarvian Williams will come into the game.
I wonder to what extent William Stanback might be on a bit of a carry count here in this football game, particularly with the youngster Williams dressed in support.
First and goal, Adams, end zone, Winicky, touchdown. Jake Winicky with his 8th touchdown of the season. And Vernon Adams now up to 24 touchdown passes as the Alouette fans who have made the trip celebrate.
We'll have a great view of the strike right here. Good protection. Look at the clear passing lane in front of Vernon Adams. Wide open window for him to spot Winicky as he comes across the middle.
Plays 75 yards. Boris Petey hooks that through as the Alouettes expand the lead, up by 13 on the 8th touchdown catch of the year for Jake Winicky. Season finale triple header, the CFL on TSN tomorrow with first place up for grabs in the West. We kick off at Mosaic. Eskimos and Rough Riders. It will be Cody Fajardo to start. Argos and Ticats renew their hostilities at 7, and then the Stampeders and Lions to wrap up the regular season. We'll find out if that game does have a bearing on first in the West.
Yes.
Rough Riders can clinch with their win over Edmonton. Otherwise, Calgary can get first if they beat BC. Logan snags that, and they'll bring it back up across the 30 to around the 35-yard line. Third all-time in pro return, kick return yardage, behind only the NFL's Brian Mitchell and the great Gizmo Williams for Steph Logan.
Yeah, Steph Logan, guy who has had very good careers on both sides of the border. Pro bowler during his time in the National Football League.
BC, Montreal, and here in Ottawa. Redblacks start at their 35 with Davis throwing and has a completion. Dominic Davis with the connection to Caleb Hawley for a first down.
So triple header tomorrow. Chris gets started, as you mentioned, with big playoff implications. Certainly in the opening game for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Eskimos watching this one with the anticipated Eastern semifinal game against Montreal.
Yeah, doing a little advanced scouting, no doubt.
And again, the scare went up yesterday when we found out Cody Fajardo was not practicing because of a back issue, but we're told good to go. Nice burst there again by Crockett, and Redblacks starting to move the football. An 8-yard gain for Crockett into Alouette territory.
Well, that may have triggered a state of emergency in the Green Province.
There's Davis underneath, throw is made, and it's complete. And Brad Sinopoli down inside the 30-yard line. And for Sinopoli, 4th catch of this opening half.
And Brad Sinopoli achieved another milestone in his terrific career last week, catching Tony Gabriel to become the all-time leading receiver in Ottawa franchise history.
Yeah, that one's special. Look at Davis, 9 straight. Remember watching him in the season finale last year. A performance that made an impression, and I think went a ways to giving him a chance to be the opening day starter in 2019. Flag down on this play. Holding call against the Redblacks. They'll bring it back.
Always.
Ottawa number 65. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
Mark Cordy, the left tackle.
Always becomes a challenge for the offensive lineman once the quarterback moves from the designated throwing spot, as those guys have their back to the football. Can't really be sure exactly what area they're supposed to be protecting anymore.
1st and 20 over the middle. And the catch made by R.J. Harris. Short yardage.
Veteran CFL coach Joe Pow, former head coach here in Ottawa during the existence of the Renegades, now the offensive coordinator.
2nd and 15. And Davis connects again with Sinopoli, gets away, and it'll be close to first down. Davis has completed 11 of his last 12. And let's see where they mark this football. It is an Ottawa first down.
Sinopoli is going to, again, come all the way across the formation. Kind of getting lost in coverage as he runs through zones laterally there.
Needed 15, got it. And R.J. Harris will get tossed down by Greg Reed. Just back to Sinopoli, 5 for 67 so far. His season high is 76 yards, so might be Sinopoli's big game of the year to wrap things up. 2nd and 5. Time for Davis, a crosser, one-handed catch. And Hawley the grab, but Levels tosses him down. And the field goal unit will come on for the Redblacks. And some jawing here between Jamar Jones and Caleb Hawley.
A nice pickup from the offensive line just before that one-handed stab by Hawley. Stefan Nembo, the right tackle, picking up the twist.
Field goal good. And it's 16-6. Midway through the 2nd quarter in Ottawa. Well, the CFL lost another good man this week. The passing of Charlie Taft, the former head coach of the Montreal Alouettes and Hamilton Ticats, a two-time coach of the year, passed away in Florida after a short battle with cancer. 1999 and 2000 coach of the year, and took the Montreal Alouettes to the Grey Cup final in 2000. Our condolences to his family, his friends, and his many colleagues, still some of them here in the Canadian Football League.
His legacy will live on for a long time in the Canadian Football League when you look at some of the players that he coached, people who are now coaching in the league themselves.
Montreal number 8. 5-yard penalty, remains first.
Offensive coordinator in his last stop at the University of Central Florida made quite an impact there.
Yeah, as that program has made huge strides in recent years. Charlie, one of the guys that got it going.
Well, time count and a direct snap here. And the play snuffed out on a good defensive tackle by Anthony Chaffee.
Yeah, Chaffee.
Dante Absher taking the direct snap.
Maintaining that outside in leverage, contained responsibility, getting up the field as deep as the football.
Vernon Adams started the night 5th of the league in passing. He's gone by Mike Riley in the 4th spot, now over 100 yards passing, and looking for more here. And that's a good sign to have Gene Lewis on the receiving end of that. Didn't think we'd see him back after that hit he took in the opening quarter.
Yeah, lone receiver into the boundary side of the field. And this, I think, has been part of the benefit for Eugene Lewis in moving to wideout, is that oftentimes if you become that short side wideout, when the offense gets into trips formations or even quads formations to the field, you end up getting one-on-one matchups, isolated matchups. And Kahari Jones talked about his competitive fire, making the most of that.
Catch that. Looked like he grabbed that off the shoe tops. There is a flag down. Nice grab by Lewis. Flag in the Alouette backfield.
Major foul, roughing the passer, Ottawa number 75. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Cameron Walker. Flag for roughing the passer.
There you see Cameron Walker, the Guelph product, former Argonaut and Tiger Cat. A little bit late with that arrival. There you see Eugene Lewis going down to scoop that one.
Nice grab, first down at the Redblack 42. J.R. Tavai not in the Redback lineup at defensive end. Their league leader with 8 sacks. First down, and we got Stanback chew up more yardage. Another good run by Stanback. Ellis and Pruneau in on the tackle, but Stanback's got 9 more.
So there again, you see the work of that Ottawa offensive line. William Stanback chewing up yardage behind them.
So 7 carries for Stanback. He's had 10 touches. How many more before Kahari Jones sits him down? Kahari Jones did talk about his experience as a player, and when they sat guys late in the year, he felt they lost momentum and didn't have it going into the playoffs. So that's why he has Adams in, Stanback in, Lewis in. But for how much longer? Last week we saw them come out late in the first half, about this point in the first half.
Yeah, this is it. It is such a fine balance, certainly not a science. And so much of it, I think, is based on your gut feeling as a coach in terms of, okay, what is the best strategy? When is the best time to get these guys out? For Kahari Jones, with his extensive experience as a player in this league,
They take a hit here, and throws incomplete.
I think has pretty good feel and pretty good insight as to what to do and what he's doing.
Obviously, you don't want to get hurt, but when you're playing, there's no way of trying not to get hurt, is there? I mean, you don't
want guys thinking about getting hurt either when they play, right? You can't play the game thinking about protecting yourself. It's just not the nature of the sport.
Second and 10 at the Ottawa 31. Pressure coming, takes a hit and is dropped. Avery Ellis got there along with Ettore Latenzio. Adams up, and you wonder if he'll come back tonight.
Latenzio, one of the local products on this team, and Avery Ellis. He's in that stand-up defensive end position closest to the bottom of your screen. Working that twist and goes inside, tackle outside. Both find their way to the quarterback.
Ellis gets credit for it, so that's his 7th and 3rd in the last 4 games. Beatty looking for the corner here, and it ends up into the end zone. It's another single for Montreal. Coverage of TSN Hockey continues next week. It features the Sens in the Big Apple on Monday to take on the Rangers, 7 Eastern, 8 Atlantic. And followed by a fresh installment of the Canadiens and Bruins rivalry on Tuesday. Puck drops at 7:30 Eastern, 8:30 Atlantic on TSN2. NHL regional restrictions apply. Habs with a big comeback win last night in Vegas. Look out. Little contact there as Jamar Jones steps up. And he left the mark.
The view from up above, this is one where I often find myself holding my breath as you can see the defender bearing down on the receiver, usually a running back going to the flat who's got his head turned away from that approaching contact.
That's Guillermo Villalobos with his first CFL catch. He gets attention, and we hit the 3-minute break.
talk more to this guy who stirred it up in Ottawa this week about the state of the Redblacks. Yes, he did. Also, we'll hear from Cody Fajardo on his back injury in Saskatchewan's big game against Edmonton tomorrow, pursuing first in the West. Back to Chris and Dwayne.
Thank you, Rod. Look forward to that at halftime. It was Brendan Landers, not Villalobos, who was shaken up. We're looking forward to seeing Guillermo Villalobos in that Ottawa offense, expecting to see him take a few snaps here tonight, but it was Landers that took that heavy jolt from Jamar Jones on the last tackle. Diego Villamontes will be in the starting lineup for the Eskimos tomorrow, so we'll see which global player makes the first reception of the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, well, very fitting to see some of these guys getting some action as the first LFA Canadian draft took place today.
2nd and 6. Flags are down, and the pass complete. Germanic Smith with the grab.
Offside, Montreal, number 91. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Van Roland Jones offside. He'll head to the sidelines. And it'll be 2nd and a yard. Look sharp tonight. Dominic Davis plunging for the first down. I mean, you dial back to the first 2 games of the year and...
Offside, Montreal defensive line. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down, Ottawa.
I mean, he did throw 4 interceptions in Calgary, but he found a way to come back and beat the Stampeders. And he put up big numbers in the home opener, the only home win for Ottawa, in a 44-41 victory against Saskatchewan. I mean, think about that. Out of the gate, you beat Calgary in Calgary, you beat Saskatchewan, you think you're on your way.
Yeah, no, exactly. This team off to a terrific start, at least in the win-loss tally. But eventually, some of those mistakes started catching up to them.
Interceptions have been an issue. Gets that one away, and Crockett spins off DJ Lalama and into Alouette territory.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the passing numbers as a whole for the Ottawa quarterbacks, and there you see the most recent Ottawa quarterbacks to win, despite throwing 4 interceptions in a game. There it is, Dominic Davis on June 15th against Calgary. And kudos for finding a way basically to shake it off and get the victory. Make plays when you need to make plays. But you look at this team as a whole, and they have struggled at the position. They have struggled with their passing game as a whole, not just the quarterback spot.
Randall Evans down first to bring down Shakir Ryan. And again, Ram at the half coming up with Rod Bilt. Hank and Davis. More on the Redblacks from a guy who has lived it and lives here in town, Henry Burris.
I look forward to hearing more from Hank.
Matthew Schultz comes in. We have seen Vernon Adams take his last regular season snap.
And Adams exited partway through the 2nd quarter of last week's game as well.
Not going to get to 4,000, but a tremendous regular season for Vernon Adams. They're going to send blitz right away, but the handoff, Williams straight ahead, and has close to 3. He looks playoff ready, doesn't he? 13 of 16, 126, and a couple of touchdowns in the first half for Vernon Adams.
Yeah, it looked sharp. It was the full package from Vernon Adams. Not just throwing the ball, but managing the pocket as well. You know, anticipating blitzes, avoiding the rush.
Led the league in big play pass plays of at least 30 yards with 28. Here's Schultz, who talked about it being an important game. That was a dangerous pass. Knocked down on the corner. There's Randall Evans once again.
We've talked in recent weeks about the versatility of some of these players in the Ottawa secondary. Randall Evans certainly among them. Bounces out to play the boundary corner. This week he had filled in recent weeks at free safety for the injured Antoine Pruneau. Among Ottawa's leaders in defensive plays this season.
So Beatty stands near the Alouette goal line. He's going to give up 2 here. Twisting and turning and taking a little extra time off the clock. So it's a 9-point Alouette lead. It was nomination weekend. Here are the outstanding player nominees for the Ottawa Redblacks.
Yeah, maybe it says something about the way the Redblacks season went and some of why it might have gone that way when you look at guys occupying 4 of those 6 categories being players who finished the season on the injured list. Avery Williams, to me, was among the top defensive players in the entire Canadian Football League before he went down. Nolan McMillan, one of the most experienced veterans along that offensive line. Some significant losses for this team. So you see Jared Fernandez, their top rookie nominee. Of course, Richie Leone on special teams, continuing to boom the ball on punts and kickoffs.
Nolan McMillan beating out Brad Sinopoli, the perennial guy in top Canadian. But word in the Ottawa camp was that it was his best year and a guy that nobody seemed to like to play against.
Yeah, Nolan McMillan, the first ever Ottawa Redblacks draft pick. Ottawa was allowed to pick redshirt junior players in their first draft in 2013 before coming into the league in 2014. They took McMillan out of the University of Iowa with their first pick.
After the safety, the kickoff, and here's Logan. Good return. And out beyond the 50-yard line. He's thinking about that. Giving up the safety. You do it for field position, and Ottawa's got pretty good field position even after the kickoff here.
Well, that's it. It's a 2-part strategy, right? And the second part requires a good kick and cover on that kickoff. Kicking into the wind, which is part of the reason why they didn't want to punt out of the end zone. Beatty doesn't quite get his usual depth on the kickoff, and then terrific return from the veteran Steph Logan puts Ottawa at midfield.
See what Davis does with the field position. Great pass there as he gets Jerminique Smith in a tight window, but is Davis the man down here? And he is slow to get up. It's like he's going to be able to continue.
Well, Dominique Davis stood in there to make this throw. Watch Javon Roland-Jones coming from the bottom of the screen. Ryan Brown from the top.
And a helmet shot there that didn't get called. Crockett right side, and Enoch Mwamba will wrestle him down.
Yeah,
Mwamba's 6th tackle of the game.
Another terrific season for Enoch Mwamba, the first overall pick back in the 2011 draft out of St. Francis Xavier. Began his career as a Winnipeg Blue Bomber.
4th in the league in tackles. Look out, Lalama was on the blitz and gets home and drops Davis back at the 42. And Davis a little slow to get up again. Not sure he's fully recovered from the last hit.
DJ Lalama starting at the weak side linebacker spot in place of Chris Aki. This is a guy who probably watched in his formative years, watched Enoch Mwamba with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. DJ, a Winnipeg native, played his college football at the University of Manitoba for Brian Dobie.
And our stats guy is on his game tonight. You mentioned Mwamba being a #1 pick. Lalama the final pick in the 2016 draft. Lewis Ward from 47 has hit it, and it's a 6-point Alouette lead. Well, we mentioned Enoch Mwamba. Once again, a nominee on that list of Montreal Outstanding Player Award winners this year.
Yeah, no surprise to see Vernon Adams with his tremendous season as their most outstanding player nominee. Again, Enoch Mwamba, you know, I'm incredibly happy for Enoch as a guy. You think about how he battled injuries for a time, particularly when he first returned to the CFL from his National Football League stint, but has overcome that and is playing some of the best football of his career here in his 9th year as a professional.
I think if we had a breakout award winner this year, it'd be a good vote between Vernon Adams and Cody Fajardo, at least those two.
On that list.
Dane Evans would be a third.
What up to you, baby? I love you. What up, Jack?
Enoch Mwamba and DJ Lalama, by the way, both former President's Trophy winners as the outstanding stand-up defensive player in Canadian University football. Enoch in 2010, Lalama in 2016.
The guy that's been through some of the hard times in Montreal now really able to savor this kind of season.
I was so well in the field, came back over. Good job.
Slight delay as security deals with
We all tilted that way.
fan that's a little too over-exuberant about the season finale.
Kind of playing the sticks, you know what I'm saying?
How about the job this guy has done? Bob Smolik, defensive coordinator. Much of the credit for the Alouettes' defensive success, I think, goes to the attitude that he brought to this team. Long-time coach, National Football League, NCAA football, tremendous resume in American football, but a Canadian football rookie didn't come into this league thinking that he knew it all, right? He came in with an open mind, willingness to learn, and he has been a quick study.
I think we're ready to go here. Matthew Schultz mentioned he was looking forward to this opportunity to make one more lasting impression for the 2019 season. Not to say that he might not be involved in the playoff game. Obviously, it's Vernon Adams to start. But Schultz wants to send a message that he belongs here, and he has shown some improvement during the season.
Yeah, he certainly has. We have seen an experience, and reps are so important at any position, really, but especially for those quarterbacks, this is a valuable time for him.
There's Williams. Darvion Williams sliced down. Corey Tyndall with the tackle as Williams has a gain of about 5.
Corey Tyndall establishing himself as one of the veterans in that secondary. Once again, you want to prevent that guy from getting outside on you. Outside leverage. Comes low, gets into the legs of the running back to bring him down.
So 16 seconds on the clock. Third down, and Beatty in to punt. Or are they just going to run it down here? No, they'll run it down, excuse me. for the first half in the books. Alouettes get a couple of touchdown passes from Vernon Adams. And the fur flying.
Yeah, if I'm going to the playoffs, I'm walking away from this.
Redblacks don't intend to go quietly into the good night. Okay, we're done. This first half. We'll sort out penalties when we start the second half. 17-11. Alouettes with the lead. More fur to fly. Here's the panel with Rod Smith.
Good tonight. Thank you, CC. We welcome you inside our studio to Ram at the half. Brought to you by Ram 1500, 2019 North American Truck of the Year. Another winning season for Ram. Halftime in Ottawa, 17-11 for the Alouettes, as it appears that Vernon Adams is done for this game. Played enough, getting set for the playoffs now against the Eskimos next week. Back inside the studio along with Henry Burris and Davis Sanchez and Milt Stiegel. And Henry talked with CC and Dwayne a little bit during that first half about comments you made and caused a little bit of a stir about where the Redblacks stand, and in particular GM Marcel Desjardins and Rick Campbell as well. First of all, I mean, where does this organization go, and what do you think is going on there right now?
Well, for me, when I made this statement, first off, Rod, it was based on the fact of if they want to achieve the success that this organization has experienced through the first 5 years, they've got to continue to build the relationships, because you've heard a lot of the outgoing players this past offseason talk about their non-communication with Marcel Desjardins, the lack of a relationship, and they felt the lack of respect that was felt. But I had to take it beyond that just to let people know that this was going on even before these players this past offseason. They felt they were treated that way, and I felt it happened to me as well. But the thing is, it's much bigger than that. It's about the guys that are to come after them, the Brad Sinopolis, the younger guys in the locker room, the players across the league, because when they see treatment like this towards the veteran players, they feel that, why would I want to go there as well? Because I feel I'm going to be treated the same. I can't establish a legacy or have a place to take my family and have security. So right now, relationships within the locker room, within that coaching staff, that has to be created right away, because right now, if they can't get it done in-house, how is anybody outside of that going to believe that this could be a resting place for them and their family in the future as far as players to help increase and improve the product that's on the field?
And I don't know how you improve upon that. I guess relationships are important. I will say this, watching Rick Campbell go through this, and the only way to describe Rick Campbell has been class and a man of high character. When I watch him handle the situation he has, obviously the son of the great Hugh Campbell, and the way he's handled this, he always seems poised. He's never points fingers. And as a leader through all this, I do just want to say that how he's handled this locker room and this team, I think he's done it with great character and class.
And you talk about pointing fingers, a finger pointing has to be at the GM, Marcel Desjardins. It has to be. And they didn't have to be in this situation. You think about all the guys he let go: Trevor Harris, Powell, Sir Vincent Rogers, Murray,
Trevor Harris went too.
They didn't have to be this way. Now, maybe you couldn't sign all those guys.
Exactly. It's
but
not
you had an opportunity to get some of those guys.
It's unprecedented.
So it is on him. There should be no finger pointing towards. He's the only one the finger pointing should be towards, because he made all those mistakes this offseason.
Maybe what buys everybody more of a chance is what the Redblacks have done in the last, 4 years, going to the Grey Cup 3 times,
no doubt.
winning it once in 2016, but certainly a lot of work to do for next year. Back to talk about the West and hear from Cody Fajardo as well after this.
Final weekend of the regular season kicking off at TD Place. Second and goal, pressure coming back in the end zone, and Lewis has the touchdown. Adams end zone, Winnicky touchdown. And Vernon Adams now up to 24 touchdown passes.
Okay, huddle up. Emily, Graham, run the barbecue to the post. Martin, give me a GFO at the couch. I'll handle things from inside, the most luxurious truck in its class. Good call, man. Good call.
Getting set for final triple-a-header to end the season tomorrow, and the West is the focus. Calgary at BC, it means something to the Stamps whether Saskatchewan wins early or not. Of course, if the Riders beat the Eskimos, they clinch first in the West. But Cody Fajardo has a back injury, and we're still not clear if he can play tomorrow. Here's what he had to say earlier today.
If we had a game today, there's no way I'd be able to play. Got to wake up and see how I feel tomorrow morning. Obviously, this is a huge game, and I know that with the injury after the MRI results and stuff, that it's a significant injury and that there's risk of playing my last snap if I were to go out there and rush it.
This doesn't sound like a routine back injury here, and possibility tomorrow, but as said, we really don't know if he's going to play or not.
If he says he definitely wasn't going to play if the game was yesterday, he's probably not playing tomorrow, or today he's not playing tomorrow. Do you think he's playing tomorrow?
I don't think he is. I mean, hearing about the significance, saying if he took a hit, that could be the last, snap that he played. You don't want to chance this. I mean, give the kid a chance to heal up because you still have a couple weeks away from a playoff game that you definitely will have at home already. But I think Edmonton's giving them a chance to get off the hook by the fact that they're not even playing Trevor Harris, and a lot of their starters aren't even playing in this game. I know it's of utmost important for them to have the 13th man and 35,000 screaming fans come to the West Final, but right now it's about the health of your franchise. You just signed him to a new deal. You want to make sure he can have a long career, but also set him up for success in that playoff game.
Do you let him make the decision as a head coach, or you say, we're going to hold you out? We want to have you healthy for that playoff game. It may not be, we may not get the bye, but we know we're in the playoffs and we know we'll have a home game. What do you do?
With the back, it's his decision, I think.
That's the thing, though. They have to win that game to be guaranteed the bye week and hosting the Western Final. Otherwise, if Calgary beats BC, then Saskatchewan's playing next week against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So there's still lots at stake for those final games of the regular season. For the Alouettes, home and cooled and waiting for Edmonton next week. They still got another half to play, and they're leading Ottawa 17-11. Back with some numbers after this. freshman year. The debut full-length album from the Reclaws featuring the brand new single, Old Country Soul. Listen now on Apple Music. At the half, the Owls lead the Redblacks. Here's Milt with some numbers.
Well, Kahari Jones talking about he wanted his 3 stars to play in the first half. Well, I think he saw enough out of them. Vernon Adams Jr., 126 yards, 2 touchdowns. William Stanback, 7 carries, 64 yards. And Eugene Lewis, 4 catches, 50 yards. I don't think we'll see those guys in the second half.
Kahari, that's Milt's quarterback.
That's my quarterback.
And here he is with Brent Wallace.
We saw Matthew Schultz a couple of series at the end. Will it be the rest of his night here, or will you still continue to look at Adams?
No. Vernon's done. I'll go with Matt, and hopefully Pipkin will get a chance to get in there as well. And we got what we wanted out of Vernon. He played well and did some good things for us.
We've seen the Redblacks start to close the score, but will that dictate who you play the rest of the night? And are you okay with the way your team's playing so far here?
I'm okay. I'd like to be a little better. I'd like to hold them a little bit more on defense. We've held them to field goals, but I feel like we've had some opportunities to get the ball back a little sooner, and so we just got to tighten up a little bit. And offensively, we just got to keep moving the ball, and then we should be okay.
We saw some emotions at the end. Will you remind your team with the playoffs coming to get out of that stuff going in here in the second half?
Definitely. We don't need to get involved in that. We've had too much of that as it is, and so with our team, we just want to get ready for the playoffs, but we want to win this game.
Thanks, Barry. Appreciate your time.
Thanks.
And he got a good first half from Vernon Adams. It's all he needs to see. A couple of touchdown passes. Matthew Schultz in the game now. 17-11 Alouettes. Regular season finale with the playoffs coming up next week. Halftime show brought to you by Ram Heavy Duty. The most capable Ram Heavy Duty pickup ever. Always ready for the second half. Christensen still got a half in the Save on Foods $1 Million touchdown to win. One kickoff return for a touchdown could be $10,000 home theater package. If it happens twice, it could be $1 million. Bo, I say again, good luck in the second half as we head back to the nation's capital.
It's Friday night football. Yeah.
So let's get it. Everyone ready?
Boys are all here, gonna put on a show. Come on.
Back in Ottawa, 17-11, the visitors have the lead, headed to the second half, and headed to the sidelines. Brent Wallace is with Brad Snopley.
Right, Gerard, you guys certainly closed the gap here going into the half. What was the message that you try to get a win here in your final game?
Yeah, just keep it up. I think we're playing well. We just got to finish when we get down to the red zone, and just little details that we got to clean up.
You signed a 2-year extension. It's announced here just before the game. Was it important to get it done going into the offseason? And I guess are you excited to remain here as an Ottawa Red Black?
Yeah, exactly. I love this place and love this organization and the fans. And, I'm just really happy that it got done quick. And, can't wait to get this win and continue on next year.
Thanks, Brad. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
5 for 67 in that first half for Brad Sinopoli. And I think one of the reasons they announced some signings today was going to send a message that it's going to be different in 2020 here in Ottawa.
Yeah, certainly after taking a little bit of a beating in free agency in the last off season. Want to get ahead of things a little bit and establish that you do have players who want to be here, want to stay here.
There's JP Bolduc, who's their special teams leader, as they kick it off to start this second half. Shakir Ryan up over the 45 and going to start near midfield for Matthew Schultz here in this third quarter.
Well, Matthew Schultz once again will start the second half. Had the opportunity to start a game earlier this season. Got extensive action last week. Once again, Vernon Adams left the game before halftime.
Vernon Adams done for the night. 9-5 coming in. The Alouettes 0-3 in the 3 games without him. First down up at the 54, and Schultz has the completion. And Julian Grant, Felix Faubert-Lucier the catch. And a first down for the Alouettes.
Faubert-Lucier, the former Hamilton Tiger Cat and Université Laval product. It's a quick hitter here. Want to try and get the ball out of Schultz's hands quickly, keep the pressure off, let him develop a little bit of a rhythm, find his groove.
Chaffee the tackle, and now Williams inside. And spins down inside the 35-yard line. And has about 4.
And it'll be Jarvion Williams with University of Texas at San Antonio, carrying the load here in the second half. This is a guy that the Alouettes had their eye on for a little while before being able to bring him into the fold.
Second and 5. Schultz to the wide side of the field, and he makes the connection, and that is Julian Grant with the catch.
Thank you.
Well, Julian Grant, second-round pick for the Alouettes in the 2019 draft. Another St. FX product, coached by Gary Waterman. Terrific receiver and kick returner during his time with the X-Men. Played with his dad, Curry Grant, many years ago with the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Schultz just got that away. And a one-handed catch by Absher. Sherrod Baltimore the catch. Corey Tyndall on the blitz with the hit on the quarterback.
Get a look at the grab.
Nice.
Stab by Dante Absher.
And no DeVere Posey, Quan Bray, or Chris Matthews.
Well, and it really is a twofold benefit in a situation like this. You get to rest some of your guys, but also get to get some meaningful reps for some of these other guys. Again, a guy like Dante Absher, the last catch by Malcolm Carter.
Yep.
These are guys who have been with this team all year, spending most of the year on the practice roster, but valuable for them to get an opportunity in a game situation for their development, but also for the team to evaluate those guys going forward.
Third catch of the year for Carter. So 4 different receivers on the drive. None of them have more than 10 catches this year. But getting a chance here with Schultz spreading the football around. Down to the Ottawa 13. Here's the blitz. Williams the run and just got a couple. Tyndall there on the tackle. Helping out was Chaffee.
Yeah, Ottawa brought Antoine Pruneau up. The safety bit blitz, stacked up the line of scrimmage. Essentially created a situation where somebody was going to be free off the edge. You're always going to adjust your offensive blocking scheme to take care of the most dangerous guys on the inside. But if those edge guys can get there and disrupt as they did, really impact the offense.
Pruneau, one of the leaders, but missed 9 this year. 2nd and 10, end zone, touchdown. Absher's got the catch. Dante Absher's got his first Canadian Football League touchdown.
Yeah, nice strike thrown here by Matthew Schultz. Quick out, timing route. Ball's there on the money just inside that sideline.
So a souvenir for Dante Absher. Guy who was cut in training camp, was ill during camp, and wasn't at his best. And he got called back. Beatty adds the convert, and the Alouettes expand the lead, back up by 13 on a third quarter touchdown from Matthew Schultz to Dante Absher.
Well, we saw in the previous drive, Matthew Schultz threw a completion one play before the touchdown pass, dings his hand on the follow-through off the helmet of his offensive lineman. You can imagine how much that hurts the best of times, let alone on a cold day, but showing no ill effects on the very next play. Throws a strike to Dante Absher for the latter's first career CFL touchdown.
7 plays, 56-yard touchdown drive. Forrest Beatty is padding his stats on kickoffs here. Logan's going to concede another single point.
Rear Intelligent Emergency Braking. Innovative technology designed to help keep your family safe. Available in the Nissan Rogue.
Go far underneath, remember?
Hey.
Coast.
Well, Matthew Schultz looking good in relief of Vernon Adams.
Oh, yeah. Remember you on top.
Be on top.
5 for 6, 52 yards, and a touchdown pass. And William Art will start the second half for the Ottawa Redblacks. 0-3 this year in his 3 starts. And the first pass skips to the feet of Nate Bahar, incomplete.
Will Arndt had started the previous 3 games for the Redblacks, 2 of those against the Toronto Argonauts. Second-year man.
That's on target, and a first down catch over the middle. Another grab for Brad Sinopoli. Now 6 in the game. And a gain of 12, so he's up to 79 yards. And so that's a season high for Sinopoli.
There's Sinopoli working on the inside. Security blanket.
6 receivers out. R.J. Harris at midfield. Alouettes say that ball skipped, incomplete, but like they're marking a catch. Just shy of the midfield stripe. Hard to see from that angle. Academic now. Crockett with the run and a first down as he pounces into Montreal territory.
Well, John Crockett coming off the injured list to play in this season finale.
DJ Lalama for Montreal has 8 tackles in the game. R.J. Harris on the hitch. And down inside the Alouette 45.
I made the suggestion a couple of weeks ago that the German-born R.J. Harris and French-born Boris Beattie of Montreal. Now, these guys should have the option to change their classification now that the global category exists to be considered as global players.
There's Crockett breaking tackles and pounding it down to the 25-yard line. Nice run by Crockett. You're suggesting might be a little more value as a global player. Flags flying here long after the play was over.
Yeah, a little bit of pushing and shoving behind the play there. But obviously it's a situation that would be advantageous for those players. Typically, once players are classified.
2 penalties on the play. Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Montreal, number 97, and Ottawa, number 64. Penalties offset. First down.
So Woody Barron and Evan Johnson got into it.
They butt heads long enough for enough plays down there in the trenches. Not surprising that it's occasionally going to get a little bit heated.
At the controls, a first down, and that low pass incomplete. Sinopoli couldn't pull it up with Greg Reed in the trail position.
So just to finish that thought, I'll say the rule has always existed that basically in the classifications of guys, whether it's been import, non-import, national, international, what have you, whatever you are when you sign your first contract is what you remain. But I'm saying these guys signed before the global category existed, so there was no opportunity for them to ever be classified as that before they entered the league. And it would be advantageous for them, certainly given what the roster rules are now, to be classified as global players.
Offside. Montreal, number 93. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Antonio Simmons jumped the gun, and perhaps more advantageous down the road.
Yeah, as we'll see the number of global players. 1 on rosters this year, 2 will be on rosters beginning in 2020.
2nd and 5. Sinopoli and Harris in motion. Pressure off the edge, got it away. Harris the catch, touchdown. Timing perfect for the quarterback and delivers it to R.J. Harris for the Ottawa Major.
So you'll see the motion, just the tail end of it, right to left on your screen. Terrific read, great concentration from R.J. Harris and Deontay Evans. You'll see Evans come flashing into the picture here. Reaching for that ball just as it arrives, but Harris focuses in, makes sure he gets across that goal line before anyone touches him.
Is under review by the command center.
So scoring play, all has to be reviewed. Or potential scoring play, they'll confirm whether or not Harris went in untouched.
And it did not appear to me.
Waiting for confirmation of the 3rd touchdown of the year for Harris.
After review, the ball carrier was down at the 1-yard line. It will be first down, Redblacks at the 1-yard line.
Okay, they're ruling that Deontay Evans did touch Harris. Contact made to down the receiver. I'm not sure we saw it, but the command center did.
Maybe they're getting replays from somewhere else. Someone's undercutting us.
Maybe one of the global cameras got it. So 1st and goal, right side, touchdown. Jonathan Jennings takes it in. Scoring march, 75 yards for the Redblacks.
And with that touchdown, Jonathan Jennings becomes the first Ottawa Redblacks player other than Dominic Davis to score a rushing touchdown this season.
Which by my math tells me that their running backs have not scored one this year. And we are in the final game of the regular season.
Yeah.
They'll take them any way they can get them right now. And they get one here to get within 7. get into the CTV drama Emergence, where nothing is as it seems. Emergence, all new, Tuesday at 10, 8 Mountain, only on CTV. First touchdown in 40 possessions for the Ottawa Redblacks. And they get within a touchdown here midway through the third quarter at TD Place. Here Ryan vacuums that up just beyond the 20. And is dropped around the 37-yard line. Kevin Brown, the special teams tackle. Well, the play that set up the touchdown was this connection from Art to Harris. Contact there. Next play into the end zone. Definitely one of the Coach of the Year candidates. There's a few good candidates for that award this year, but here's the resume for Kahari Jones, who's helped this dramatic turnaround in one season for Montreal.
Yeah, what a difference he has made. You know, the impact on his quarterback, Vernon Adams, speaks for itself, but I think the impact on the entire culture and attitude of this football team has been massive.
And best sideline Led Zeppelin air guitar, hands down, in the Canadian Football League. He's a guy that loves the game, doesn't he?
He certainly does. You know, the energy that you've seen on the sidelines, we've all seen the shots of Kahari dancing during timeouts and getting his team going over there. I mean, he kind of rocks his way through pregame warm-up. He's out there taking reps, throwing balls early in warm-up, getting his receivers ready to go. It's been infectious for the Montreal Alouettes.
2nd and 8, crosser. Williams can't hang on. So it'll be 3rd down and a punt upcoming for Boris Petey.
Jarvion Williams. We saw Williams stand back run this route earlier in the game. It's that circle route, tucking underneath behind the offensive line. I wonder if he might have lost sight of that ball coming out with so many big bodies in the way.
Beatty kicking to Logan, approaching 1,500 all-purpose yards this year. And flag comes down there. Horse collar, Jason Hall. And they'll tack yards on that return. 13 games decided in the final 3 minutes, 7 comeback wins. They have been the Cardiac Kids. Here's the last 6 wins that have all gone down to the wire, and the 9th win of the year was a significant milestone for their coach.
Knowing that when we got the 9th win, we wouldn't have a losing record is a big thing, and now going one step further and having a winning record is even better. And so I would love to have that for the guys to show that hey, this is you can truly say you're a winning football team.
Trying to win their 10th for the first time as an Alouette team since 2012. 7-point lead, but work to be done here. And the Redblacks have the football at their 46 after the horse collar tackle penalty. And aren't tracked down by Bo Banner.
Yeah, Banner expected to see a few more reps in this ball game, with John Bowman resting up for the playoffs. Banner out of Central Washington.
Second and 9. And Bahar turned and the ball was at his feet. Incomplete. Set down to the sidelines. Here's Brent Wallace.
Well, Chris, you remember near the end of the first half, Dominic Davis went down with an injury. Well, that's going to limit him. He's not coming back to the end for the rest of the game. He is out with all they're describing right now is an injury, will not return, but it looks like it'll be Will Nart's team now to try and get this team a win at the end of the season. Guys?
Unfortunate for Dominic Davis, who really seemed to find a rhythm in the first half of that football game. Throwing the ball accurately, completing passes for a high percentage. It kind of got the offense moving after a slow start in the first couple of possessions.
Number 91, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Procedure call against Ottawa. He had completed 14 straight, but we saw a helmet-to-helmet connection that did go uncalled, and then on a subsequent play was sacked again, and Davis' night and season is done. Shakir Ryan from the 35 and brings it back 10. A late hit there by Dubois, and flags fly.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Ottawa, number 89. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
So the late hit from Marco Dubois.
Yeah, and it's one where you'll see Dubois appear the bottom of your screen. He had, I think, tried to limit the contact, honestly, to try to hold up on the ball carrier, but had already launched himself.
Play doesn't get off here.
Well, they might have Corey Tyndall offside as he was trying to time up that halfback blitz again. May have been just a hair early that time.
Procedure, Montreal, number 55. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
So Tyndall not offside, but I think he caused the early movement as Landon Rice saw him coming. So here you see Tyndall, he's on the move, and it's going to be the right tackle. Landon Rice knows he's coming, and he's got to try and get out there to get him. Obviously a mismatch in terms of quickness. Rice trying to get off on the ball as quickly as he can.
Christian Matt out of the game. They've shuffled a couple of players. Spencer Wilson's gone from left guard to center. Jamieson from right tackle to right guard. And you see Landon Rice in at the tackle spot.
Landon Rice, kind of the last man standing, the Johnny Manziel trade. But even he, after coming to Montreal in that trade last year, was released, went back to Hamilton, returned to Montreal this year.
Johnny who?
Yeah, that's what they're saying in Montreal.
After the catch, a flag on the play. Spencer Moore checking in.
Illegal contact, Ottawa number 27. The penalties decline. First down, Montreal.
Baltimore got flagged, but they'll take the catch and a first down at the Ottawa 36.
Sherrod Baltimore moving from corner to halfback this week in the ongoing shuffles of the Ottawa secondary.
Williams dragged down. My final editorial thought of the year, if only a lot of fans could get as excited about the guys who can play in this league as they did for a guy who proved he could not play in this league.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said. It's a tribute to Milt Stiegel, the GOAT.
Second and 4. Here they come. They swing it out to Williams, and he can't make the catch. And would have been a tough one, but a couple of passes that Williams was not able to bring in. Well, here's how it all turned around this season.
I mean, the record, the thing that stands out there, you see the change in starting quarterback, change in head coach. Go from missing the playoffs to not just making the playoffs, but at least a .500 record and a home playoff game.
And a team that looked like it might be starting in disarray with a change at the GM spot. Mike Sherman was let go before it got underway, and Boris Beatty here to make it a 2-possession Montreal lead again, up by 10 late third quarter.
It's interesting, Chris, when you look at these Montreal Alouettes. You know, obviously so much credit goes to Kahari Jones for the job that he's done of steering this ship through a lot of early season turmoil. He mentioned ownership change and general managerial change to open the season. You know, but I think a lot of credit has to go to the departed general manager, Kavis Reed, who's the guy who put so many of these pieces in place.
Talked about how deep that receiving core is. But it all starts at the quarterback spot. They found themselves a quarterback. And that will be one of the issues in Ottawa as they look ahead to next year.
Ottawa, number 8. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Certainly a question to be answered, as we've seen all of those quarterbacks have their opportunity this year. Again, Will Arndt, who had been the number 3 guy, started the last 3 games as the team tries to evaluate what they have with him.
Snopley, another catch. Holds on at the 38. Is that guy Burris available?
He's got another job somewhere right now.
7 catches for Sinopley on the night. So you're saying they're probably looking elsewhere. Guns that one, and it is caught. Forward progress for R.J. Harris should be first down. It is just beyond the 45.
Well, Harris, as he did on his almost touchdown catch, demonstrating terrific concentration and fighting for a contested ball.
Catch here for Caleb Hawley at midfield, close to another first down. By the way, earlier in the drive, Sinopoli with a catch that now moves him 4th all time. Ahead of Stephon Jones in Ottawa football history in terms of yardage.
There you see the numbers through the various incarnations of the Ottawa football franchise.
Those two at the top were two of my favorites. With Tucker caught a lot of passes for Russ Jackson.
Yeah, certainly Ottawa football legends.
Speaking of which, the drop-off in wins will be the most for Ottawa from one season to another since 69-70. After Russ Jackson retired in 69. They had trouble replacing him. And
yeah. History repeats itself? Is that what you're suggesting?
So they win in 69, and he retires victorious. Won again in 73, but it took a little time to get back in the winner's circle. So we're through 3 quarters here. 10-point Montreal lead.
There's a drink for that.
Alouettes lead by 10 after 3 quarters here. And you're seeing a record-setting night in the Canadian Football League.
It certainly has been. Some people may look at this game as not having a lot of meaning. The big record for Montreal kicker Boris Beattie, tying a record with 3 kickoff singles, Chris, in the same game.
Well, he does have the strongest leg in the league. I'm surprised it hadn't happened earlier, but
yeah, he's been moving them with the win tonight. Absolutely. Dave Ridgway. Sean Fleming was the last to do it in 1997 with Edmonton. Trevor Kennard, also one of those with a share of the mark.
You were a wealth of information. We still got a quarter to go. So far, so good for the Alouettes. They're playing well. They have the lead and been able to avoid the injury bug so far. But the Redblacks have a 4th quarter here to try and end this 10-game drought and give their fans something to cheer about before the season is done.
Well, it is always your goal to win your last game of the season, regardless of circumstance. Very few teams have the opportunity to do it. It's not necessarily the way you want to do it.
Iron across her, and another catch for Caleb Hawley. And an injured Alouette. It's Antonio Simmons down. Smiled when you mentioned that. Dick Irvin, longtime partner. His father was a legendary coach in the NHL, and that was his message every year. Never lose your last game at home.
That's right.
These fans have waited a long time. The only home win this year came in the home opener against Saskatchewan.
And tremendous fans here in Ottawa as well. I mean, we've said it many times over the years, but one of the great atmospheres in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, Redblacks!
It was a 44-41 shootout that night. Dominic Davis prevailing, and we got to see Cody Fajardo at the controls of the Saskatchewan Roughriders in his first start of what has been an outstanding player season in Saskatchewan for him. And Simmons remains down, so we'll step aside. Ottawa threatening to cut into this 10-point lead.
As big.
Freshman Year, the debut full-length album from the Redblacks featuring the brand new single, Old Country Soul. Listen now on Apple Music.
Antonio Simmons to the sidelines at 2nd and 1, and a sneak by Jennings. Did he get there? And the signal is a first down. Will Art will check back in at the controls. A 10-point deficit, but knocking at the door here, back in the red zone for the Redblacks. First down, and Art into the back of the end zone. Stretching out, and R.J. Harris incomplete, almost made a circus catch up against Jamar Jones.
Last second burst to the football when it's in the air. Harris is lined up out wide. On the left side, just straight go route.
And we got a challenge from the Redblack sidelines.
Yeah,
Rick Campbell wants to have another look.
I think they have a case for pass interference
Ottawa is
here.
challenging that there was defensive pass interference on the previous play on their receiver. We'll review the play.
Looked like there were a couple of bumps from Jones beyond the 5 yards.
So the command center will take another look at this. Pass interferences or not. It all comes down to this. The Rugby World Cup final takes place tomorrow morning. The top-ranked nations in the world, England and South Africa, battle to be crowned world champions. Action kicks off at 4:45 Eastern, 1:45 Pacific. We're available on demand only on TSN.
After review, we have defensive pass interference. Montreal, number 33. Ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. First down, Ottawa.
So again, here we see R.J. Harris, the wide man. He's running down that sideline, outside release on the go route. You saw a little bump there, another bump there. In the end zone that leads to this call and the placement of the ball at the 1-yard line.
So Jonathan Jennings and the short yardage group back in for the Redblacks as they hunker down here and try and punch it in. Left side Jennings, easy touchdown. Flag comes down. Will it be offside defense?
Offside, Montreal. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
You see defensive player lined up in the neutral zone. That's the offside call. As Jonathan Jennings collects his second touchdown of the season and of the night.
Roland Jones, who had lined up offside.
Boy, got 2 times. Right now, what? That's 2.
Ward missed the convert. Craig Reed going to try and bring it out. In some difficulty, but now out, and away he goes with the convoy. And if he returns it,
he's exhausted.
He'll throw it across, and it's Lalama. They're going to call forward lateral, and that will take the 2 points off the board.
Offside pass, Montreal. During the convert, there is no score on the play.
Well, it looked like they had something.
Yeah, and I know why Reed's looking to lateral the ball, because all the running around he did in the end zone, he's exhausted and is looking for someone else to who's got fresher legs to finish it for him. He's right here. The pass is fine because that's going back, but it's as Jones is bobbling it and has Evan Johnson closing on him. He passes it off to DJ Lalama, but Lalama's in front of him. There you see a forward pass. You know, I mean, if you're Montreal, you may try to make the argument that Jones never had control of the ball, that it's being bobbled, but
almost the second time in as many weeks that we have seen one return. Janarian Grant did it for Winnipeg last week. Bolacombo getting attention on the sidelines.
And just getting back to the missed kick, a big miss by Lewis Ward, is that convert would have made it a 3-point game and had them within a field goal.
Well, you don't like seeing that with Lacombo. Not much weight on that ankle. Important guy. Levels agitated on the sidelines.
Yeah, there were a few Montreal players involved in what appeared to be a disagreement down there. Jones and Reed as well were involved in that.
Let's take a look at how this started.
It looked like Najee Murray and Boris Beatty were trying to calm levels down, but just before that, there was a conversation between he and Jones and Reed that
handshakes
looked to get a little heated, but yeah, just the heat of the moment. As you saw, there was exchange kind of hugs and handshakes over there.
You're right, though. Costly missed convert. 4-point lead. And Julian Grant on the return. Dropped around the 31-yard line. And back to work. There's Matthew Schultz.
Well, we talked earlier, Chris, about sort of the value of getting these meaningful reps for some of the other players on your roster. Quarterback Matthew Schultz, most notably. You know, not necessarily the worst thing to get him in a situation where he's in a tight game, pressure situation, trying to manage the clock, pull out a win, and so on. Opportunities you can't really give your backup quarterback during the season.
That Absher up around the 50-yard line. Schultz on target. And it's a 19-yard pickup. Absher's got 7 catches in the night.
Dante Absher sending the message that should anybody go down before or during the playoffs, he's ready to go. And just 1 catch in his debut last week, but doing a great job building on that tonight.
6'3", 180. Williams inside, gets tripped up after about 4. And do we have another injury? One Redblack down and slow to get up is the right guard. So Uko is okay and is checking to see if it's Sean Jamieson that's feeling the effects of that last play as well.
He's a Western guy, Chris. He's going to shake it off and stay in the game.
But you've been getting him out just to make sure he's ready for next week. He doesn't look comfortable.
No, he doesn't. He went down hard and hobbling back up to the line.
We're allowed one reference a game. Schultz pumps it now. He'll take off and he'll run for the first down. Down to the 45-yard line. And
he took
he's a little slow to get up too.
Yeah, it looked like he might have got caught in the back of the head as he was going down.
Here at Kahari Jones at halftime say that we would see Antonio Pipkin. Might be the last series for Schultz.
Pipkin, the man who was the Alouettes opening day starter. He got dinged in Edmonton, and the Owls' first game of the season opened the door for Vernon Adams, who led a comeback that fell just short, but it was sort of the beginning of a great year to be for Vernon Adams.
Williams trying to bounce it outside, nothing doing as he gets dragged down by Avery Ellis. It'll be second and long. Second and 11. Schultz stands in, guns it over the middle. It's a first down connection. Back to Felix Faubert-Lucier.
Oh, big catch moving the sticks, getting into field goal range here. Faubert-Lucier, the inside man on that side. I'll say beside him, by the way, former Laval quarterback Hugo Richard, number 6. In the game playing a little bit of slot. He was the Vanier Cup winning quarterback last fall. Been with the Alouettes, was in as a training camp as a quarterback, has been on their practice roster, taking some reps at other positions as well.
Williams head to the edge. Jarvian Williams down inside the 5. Touchdown. 35-yard touchdown burst. His first in the Canadian Football League.
Chris, I feel like I've spent so much of this season talking about the young talent, the skill guys in particular on offense for these Montreal Alouettes. They're demonstrating not only that they have skill, but they have depth as well. You look at Absher and Williams getting their first CFL touchdowns here tonight, acquitting themselves very well given the opportunity. Matthew Schultz as well.
There's the scoring drive. 6 plays, 79 yards. And the convert from Boris Beatty. So now it's an 11-point lead. Great run for Jarvian Williams. 35 yards to pay dirt.
Maybe it's the sun of that sun on you. I feel like burning up the afternoon.
mic'd up players to behind-the-scenes action. It's CFL Wired.
There's a party at the heater. You're freezing your butt off over here.
Money, 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 money. We're going to get that 1,000 a day, baby.
If we had a heater, there'd be a party here, too. Catch CFL Wired, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, only on TSN. Logan from the 10. Up to the 30-yard line. Dwayne, we want to send out best wishes to a Redblacks season ticket holder who is not able to be here tonight. He has been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Brian Moore, who's been a Redblacks season ticket holder since the Redblacks got into the league. He was usually sitting with his son Jeremy in section EE. And Brian, all the folks in the section wanted to say they miss you tonight, and we all wish you well. There's Enoch Mwamba with a tackle on Jerminic Smith. And the middle linebacker with his 8th tackle of the night. So at 92 for the season for the top defensive player on the Alouettes in 2019. Second down out of the backfield, it's Crockett. And Crockett's got a first down up at the 44. Got away from Crockett a little bit in this game. 8 carries, 46 yards on the ground. 4-man rush. Hart taking a shot, incomplete. Of course, when these two teams met, their last meeting went to overtime. Here's Antonio Pipkin warming up on the Alouettes sidelines. In that game, Devontae Dedman was the major story, and
he sure was.
Unfortunately injured, can't finish the year, but a guy that you file away for next season. Dedman, a special night, maybe the best touchdown of the season. Here's Smith dancing around at midfield, has a first down.
Well, Dedman clearly establishing himself as one of the top 2 returners in CFL history from William and Mary.
Yeah, that other guy's pretty good, though.
Yes, Pinball Clemens did just fine. Nice move there from Jerminic Smith.
Yeah, quick.
The defender miss.
Here's the screen. Crockett again. And Crockett crashes down to about the 46-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. And to get to the 45 for a first down. Yeah, it looks like they're moving the chains. Redblacks actually with more net yards in the game than the Alouettes. But with 5 minutes to go, down by 11. Short drop, first option not there, so they check it down. Crockett to the 40, has 5 more.
A nice adjustment by Will Arndt to find his check down under pressure and turn that into a positive play with the defender all over him.
And I've got him as the best quarterback out of Fort McMurray.
That's where he had his first taste of Canadian football.
That's doing your homework.
Well, it sure is.
2nd and 6, swinging out again here. Crockett unable to shake DJ Lalama, who's had a big night defensively. That's his 11th tackle. 3rd down upcoming, and they send out Lewis Ward.
DJ Lalama in 2016, he led Canadian University football in tackles en route to winning the President's Trophy.
Ottawa's called timeout here.
Timeout, Montreal.
Well, Montreal, they pointed Ottawa's way, but it is Montreal who is one man short. And Dominic Turmenton comes on late. And that kind of thing will get addressed before the playoffs start.
Yeah, clean up all the mistakes now. For the big matchup with Edmonton next weekend.
16,000 seats sold already for that game, anticipating a sellout for the Eastern semifinal. We know that matchup. We'll need tomorrow to sort out another miss for Ward. First the convert, now the field goal. Greg Reed dropped at the 5-yard line. Not sure where the Western semifinal is going to be yet.
To be determined tomorrow. Big day of CFL action ahead.
Not many games in that young man's career that he's missed more than one kick in the same game.
Yeah.
Again, Super Saturday tomorrow. Rough Riders are trying to nail down first in the West. That matchup against the Eskimos. Argos and the Ticats. Hamilton's last test before the Eastern final. And then the Stampeders and Lions to wrap up the CFL regular season. And will that be a game Calgary needs to finish first?
Oh, Antonio Pipkin comes on as expected to lead the Montreal Alouettes offense.
Should just add that we know Calgary's going to need to win that game for a home playoff spot.
Yeah, amazing how tight things have remained in the West right down to this final weekend.
Calgary's had a home playoff game every season since the 2011 campaign.
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers with a bye here in week 21. They will be the most interested observers in the country, I would suggest.
There's Jarvion Williams bringing it back out to the 16-yard line. He had the 35-yard touchdown romp and now has 11 carries in the game and up to 66 yards.
Well, and there's a look at the Montreal offensive line and one of their global players, Diego Kuhlman. Backup O-lineman getting some late game action here.
Sneak for the first down. Kuhlman helped plow the way, and we've hit the 3-minute warning here at TD Place. The Nissan Titan Player of the Game brought to you by the Nissan Titan. It's ranked #1 in quality by J.D. Power.
Well, he came into this game looking to demonstrate that he was playoff ready. When you watch Vernon Adams in the first half of this ball game, 13 of 16, couple of touchdown strikes, full command of the offense, escaping the rush, recognizing oncoming blitzes, giving a very clear indication that he is ready for that East semifinal at home in Montreal next Sunday.
Finishes just shy of 4,000 yards for the season, 24 touchdown passes, and what appears will be a 10-5 record, unless the Redblacks are the cardiac kids tonight.
Go back and take a look at the work of our man, Diego Kuhlman. Good job run blocking, good drive there. Again, the Alouettes global player selected the 12th overall pick in the CFL's Mexican League draft this year.
And Kevin Brown not right then, so the athletic therapy staff comes on to help him to the sidelines. I don't think they've announced a Global Player of the Year award. It will likely come in the next few years.
Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes and 50 seconds. 2:50.
I think Theodric Hansen would be the man this year.
Hansen making his way into that defensive line rotation for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, contributing on special teams as well.
Second and 8. And Pipkin bounced that short of the intended target, Malcolm Carter. So the Redblacks going to get it back here with 2.5 to go. Next week it'll be Vernon Adams against Trevor Harris. Last year, Harris with 6 touchdown passes in the Eastern Final.
As an Ottawa Redblack.
Logan awaits. Off the side of Beatty's foot. And here's Logan at midfield. Finds a crease. Steph Logan. Inside the 20 and finally bumped out by Jamor Jones. You wonder if that's the last time we see Steph Logan return a kick in the Canadian Football League. If it is, it's an appropriate way to remember.
That could be going out with a bang. Steph Logan demonstrating he's still got some wheels.
Number 3 kick returner in Canadian Football League history. Number 3 in pro football history.
I don't know if you're going to find a faster 38-year-old anywhere.
Baby, I'm only 38 years old. Still running. Dude, still running. Hey, still running. Yeah. Hey, DeLorean, don't even say that, bro. Don't even say that. Hey, you don't lose that fucking 38. I'm only 38. I'm only 38. Eight's only a number, baby.
There you go.
I represent my shit.
I think he's telling you, I'm back next year. Spencer Moore, slow to get to the sidelines.
Yeah, fullback and special teams stalwart for these Alouettes.
Something you rarely hear in pro sports. Only 38.
I'm only 38.
after that return. It's 1st and 10 to 16. Pass caught. Sinopoli to the 5. Driven out around the 3-yard line. And remember, a missed convert, a missed field goal. Otherwise, they'd be going in to try and tie the game.
And regardless of outcome here, the Ottawa Redblacks have given their fans something to cheer about tonight, demonstrating some fight, tooth and nail, right down to the wire in this ball game.
Another Alouette getting attention here on the sidelines. Termanson.
This is the injury to Tremanson is going to bring Bo Lacombo back into the ball game. He got nicked up a little bit earlier.
That's good to see that. You probably don't want Lacombo back in the game, but knowing he can come back is the good news. Because he wasn't putting a lot of weight on that ankle a short time ago. Sinopoli with his first 100-yard game. John Crockett dropped at the 1-yard line again. No running back for the Redblacks has hit the end zone this year.
Well, Jonathan Jennings now in to run that short yardage offense. Will it be the sneak, or will Crockett be rewarded for his efforts?
Well, it's going to be Jennings stacked up. Does he get there? No. Driven back. It'll be 3rd and goal. Patrick Levels on the scene. Ciante Evans in support. And a little scuffle in the end zone. Tempers have been flaring all night long. I think Alex Fontana involved. So 3rd and goal from the 1.
Oh, looking to keep their hopes alive here.
Crockett or Jennings? It will be Jennings. Flag down, touchdown.
There you see.
That is the most inexcusable penalty in the CFL.
Montreal, number 91. That penalty's declined. Touchdown.
Especially when you're one of the guys lined up right in front of the ball.
Did it twice on the last 2 series. When the ball's at the 1, your hand has to be on the white or behind. So now they'll go for 2. 7 for 11 on 2-point converts this year. Aren't back in to run it. Crockett reaching. Did he get there? No signal. And they might have to review it. He stretched out. Looked like he got to the goal line, but was he down? And all potential scoring plays are reviewed, so we may just have to go right to the command center for this.
The previous scoring play is under review by the command center.
And he stayed up, but I think he's got it, doesn't he?
He managed, I think, to keep himself horizontal and above ground, maybe just long enough. Still up, still up. I think he's got it. I think he broke the front plane of the goal line before he hit the ground.
I think he's saying, if you're not going to let me get a touchdown, least I can do is get 2. And it looks like he did by the nose of the football. Well, we need confirmation. Here's Dave Foxcroft.
After review, the 2-point convert is good.
That's a 3-point game. Still time on the clock.
So the 2-point convert, they made up for the missed convert earlier. That'll pull them within 3. As you can see Crockett very closely watching the big screen at the far end of the field.
He knew right away.
But, so while a missed convert loomed large, right now a missed field goal that came after that looms even larger.
And if you're a Montreal guy, you're thinking about that missed convert return that might have been 2 points the other way. But
so true.
Now, are you kicking deep or are you kicking short? With 141.
With 141, they've got time to kick deep, put it in the hands of their defense, and play for a shorter field. The alignment here suggests that to me, that they're kicking short.
They are. Up for grabs. And what a great play to reel it in by Winicky. Knocked it down and then corralled it. And the other part of the difference in this football game that we should be coming back to, the record-setting performance by Boris Beatty.
Well, that is the difference in the ball game right now. 3 singles on kickoffs.
R.J. Harris looked like he got a hand on that, but Winicky.
Yeah, good effort by Harris.
Yeah, knocked it away.
To disrupt, but he just couldn't get back to the ball before Winicky did.
So the Alouettes have the ball at the Redblack 49-yard line. Williams the ball carrier, not much. Be second and long for Pipkin and the Owls. And the fans that have stayed have been making some noise here. They believe. Won their home opener, and the Redblacks trying to come back to win their season finale. Second and 10. Ball on the carpet. Williams back on the Alouette side of midfield. Pipkin had trouble with the snap, and then had a little trouble handing it off to Jarvian Williams.
Well, he loses it on the exchange. Just bobbles the football. Maybe a factor in the chilly night, but I'm surprised that he didn't just tuck it or even fall on it. That under these circumstances that he still tried to make that handoff with the defense bearing down.
Redblacks with 32 on the board, their first 30-point-plus performance since that overtime win against the Alouettes back on August 2nd. Will we be going to overtime tonight? Logan
that
one clutch out at the 5.
Punt.
Big time kick for Boris Beatty. So the field is a long one after a 51-yard punt into the corner. That's playoff ready.
Yeah, making sure that the only 38-year-old Steph Logan, who's had a couple of big returns tonight, didn't get a chance to shorten that field.
So they mark it at the 2. So they need about 60 yards of real estate here. And Smith can't make the catch. It's intercepted. Touchdown. Najee Murray. And Kahari Jones. First defensive touchdown of the year.
Let's go!
For the Montreal Alouettes.
Couldn't come at a better time for the Owls. Ball's thrown high. Jermanique Smith goes up. It's over his hands into the waiting arms of Najee Murray.
First CFL interception, his first touchdown. Not sure that's a good omen, though. The last time Montreal went without a defensive touchdown was 1970, when they were a surprise Grey Cup champion.
I'm sure those guys aren't superstitious.
Beatty adds the extra point, and this one's going to be nailed down by the Alouettes. Fifth time this season that Ottawa's had at least 40 scored on them.
Just through the hands of Smith. You could just feel the air come out of this entire stadium.
A 10-win Gatorade shower.
The face says it all from Kahari Jones.
He didn't see that one coming. So Vernon Adams, the first Alouette quarterback to win 10 since a guy by the name of Calvillo 7 years ago.
Next week, you got my backside all day, all day, all day.
And just a little glimpse of why they all love to play for him, huh?
Keep being great. Keep being great. Let's go. Good stuff, man.
And that guy too.
Yeah, little question how his team feels about him.
Logan back at the 6. To the 33-yard line. So the last series of the season for the Ottawa Redblacks. Better offensive performance tonight there. During the 10-game losing streak coming in, they'd averaged 12.4 points a game. Put 32 up tonight, but it wasn't enough. Hart and Jones bats that down.
And it's not just the points, but some of the offensive success you've seen going along with it that you wonder if some of that had been a little more present in recent weeks, if this team might have a few more victories. You see the battled general manager of the Redblacks, Marcel Desjardins, now down on the sideline.
Hart looking for Hawley, incomplete. It'll be third down. Hart 17 of 25 for 161 of the game. And that interception. He joined us late, first half. Dominic Davis, before injured, 16 of 18 for 155.
So give me Montreal ball.
And awkward handoff, a fumble, and that might have just summed up the whole season right there. Alouettes take it over on a second consecutive series turnover. And a final 18 seconds to run off the clock.
You came back out and took a knee. Yeah, that's it.
Here you'll see signals crossed in the backfield. Arndt turns right, running back goes left. Leads to an awkward exchange and eventually a fumble. And we'll see the Alouettes in victory formation. Looking as they secure win number 10 on the season. Vernon Adams back out there to close it out.
There's all the Alouette fans that moved down to the front rows in behind the Alouette bench. The defense was celebrating with them. Now the whole team can. Montreal finishes 10-8 with a 42-32 victory against the Redblacks here in Ottawa tonight. Final tune-up for Montreal as they get set for the Eastern semifinal next week against Edmonton. Edmonton, Saskatchewan kickoff Super Saturday tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern. Then it's the Argos and Ticats. And we'll wrap up the regular season with the Stampeders against the Lions at BC Place. 11 consecutive losses to finish for the Redblacks. Montreal headed to the playoffs, and we're headed to Sports Center. So long from the nation's capital.